In Parshas Chayei Sarah, the Torah tells us Avram was looking to buy a piece of land to bury his wife, and Ephron offered him the Muras HaMachpelah. And it says that the Muras HaMachpelah is the doorway to heaven, the doorway to Gan Eden. So the question is, how can Ephron sell such an expensive piece of real estate? It's not just an expensive piece of real estate. This is probably the most expensive piece of real estate in the entire world. You know what that means? A doorway to heaven? So why did Ephron offer them the Muras HaMachpelah? It sounds like Ephron owned a whole bunch of properties. He should have given him a different property. The answer is because there's a pusik in Ashai, and the pusik says, Michocham v'yovan eila nuvam v'yudam ki yeshurim darchei Hashem tzadikim yalchibom epashim mikashlim bom. Basically what the pusik tells us here, that who is the wise who knows Hashem's ways, that the righteous go in that pathway, and the sinners stumble upon them. What does that mean? Because a tzaddik follows the ways of Hashem. Therefore, he lives in a world of light. He lives in a world of joy. And he could distinguish between light and darkness. And he will be drawn to the light. Versus a sinner, a rasha. What does a sinner mean? Somebody that lives in the dark. Because if somebody does not go in the pathway of Hashem, that person lives in the dark. Therefore, for that person, light seems to him to be the darkest thing. Because he cannot perceive light because he lives in such a darkness. So this is the reason why Ephron was able to sell the Muras HaMachpelah, because to him, this seems like darkness. He was probably afraid of the Muras HaMachpelah. It was so dark to him, because he did not go in the right pathway. Now what we can learn from this is that a lot of times people see things, and if a person does not behave in the proper way, sometimes a person can see something, and to him it'll seem like a very dark thing. In the meantime, this is light, and the person will just throw it away. So let's not be fools like Ephron, because Ephron was a big fool for selling such an expensive piece of real estate. And let's strengthen ourselves to go in Hashem's ways. And that's how we'll be able to see light and gain more and more light.